So guys, today it's my turn to talk about how this journey has impacted me. Obviously, we're all going to do our own bits so you can hear it from a personal stance because it impacted us all differently. And yeah, my experience of everything that's transpired, I don't know. I think at different times, on different days, it hits differently. So in the beginning, it was a shock, like, because it was so unexpected. It was a real shock and hard to process, hard to deep everything that was happening, and even there was no way of knowing or anticipating what the future was going to look like because we were still in it. Some days in the beginning, actually, I think I was a wreck. I remember being in mum's flat because we couldn't go to the hospital, and we had family come over and people crying and stuff, and then the doctor called and they were just saying the most, and I screamed. I think at the time my dad had just called and he heard me, and he's like, I'm coming down now. And he drove down in the middle of the night, because I guess hearing your daughter scream like that, I think I screamed because of the words of the doctors, and again the negativity, the hopelessness. It was just a lot. I had to come out of the room, and I just sat in my mum's room with my friend, and she just comforted me. So I think in the beginning it was not in the beginning, because it's still a lot some days now, especially as it wasn't just what was happening, it was the external factors: work, health, changes. I had just qualified in my master's, had to do this first year program, and this happened, I would say, maybe 4 months into it. So I still had 8 months to go, and this was just a big interruption. Like, there's no way I could focus on my job and complete my portfolio and stuff because I was focused on my mum, as well as the fact that that was in Birmingham and we was moving, like commuting, staying mostly in our hometown. So that was one side. It was a lot, but I just thank God for sisters, because in situations like this, like, we stuck together, and I think that really helped us get through, because it's a lot for one person, and even for three of us on some days it was still a lot, but we had each other, and I'm grateful to God for that. I think in the beginning, because it was so raw, so fresh, so unknown, it was like, whoa. But sometimes I look back today, I'm like, how did we get through moving house from one location to another, still trying to work, still, like, it doesn't even make sense. And that's how you know it's God, because I don't know how it was possible. There was also some health implications that I had. Literally, I got told some news the day before mum had the stroke. But that would be another story time. I'll do that with my sisters, because I don't think I can do that alone. But God is merciful. So the journey, the impact of this, I don't even know how to put it into words. Like, I'm still learning now how to balance it. It's like, I'm not a parent, I'm not a mum, but I have a responsibility for someone yet. But I have a responsibility for someone. We have a responsibility for someone who's older than us. It's such a weird dynamic, because mum still got her personality, she's still got her mind, she still knows what she wants. Her yes is a yes, and her no is her no. But sometimes it's hard. Like, no one really talks about what it means to be a carer. We've never been in this position, and we've never had experience from people around us. So it was new for us to learn, and just, we're learning on the go. We're learning about wake up in the middle of the night, sorting out medication, talking to this doctor, arranging this appointment, arranging transport. Like, there's so much that goes into it that we never even were prepared on. As soon as the professionals done their bit, it was like, right, over to you. Obviously we could seek advice, and we do, and we did whenever we needed it. Like, there was no way we didn't seek advice, because we don't know what all this means to us. But it's very taxing. This experience has been the most life-changing experience, journey that we're still living. I think I didn't really expect it to be, I don't know what I expected, because again, it wasn't something we calculated. Truly, it's the hardest thing I think we've ever gone through or going through, mainly because it's not about you anymore. And I'm imagining it's how parents feel when they have a newborn. Like, it's not about them, but at the same time they matter, because you can't look after someone else unless you look after yourself. And we got told this so many times, but it's just hard to put yourself first when you know there's someone else more in need. And I struggle with that. Like, I struggle to put myself first. I always put mum first. Like, yeah, that's something I'm working through, but it's something I personally struggle with, but I'm trying to do better with, because I feel, oh, I'll just stay at home with mum. I won't go out, I won't do this, I won't do that. I limit myself, but I don't have to be limited, because again, I've got 2 sisters and we balance the load. But even for 3 of us, it's so demanding. It's demanding physically, it's demanding emotionally, it's so taxing on our bodies. It's a lot. And at the same time, you know, there's no one else you would want to look after someone you love so much. Like, we know our mum inside out, she knows us. And even though there are good days, there are still a lot of, I won't say bad days, I just say hard days. Some days I don't get sleep. In the beginning, I really struggled because it was so new. I wouldn't sleep at night at all, and we were still learning when. At the time, I got a new job and it wasn't remote, so I had to go in every day. And I remember times where, like, I drove home on every single lunch break to check on mum. I don't really know how to put it all into words, and that's why I'm struggling, because it's just so many different takes and angles that I can come from. But I think now the hardest thing is the tiredness, because when you work a full-time job, you come home, you still got to sort out mum's dinner, her medication, if it needs collecting. If it's almost finished, talk to the doctors. Even whilst you're working, the doorbell will go off several times, phone calls will come in several times, aunties, uncles will want to call. Obviously, we have to support mum with that. Sometimes mum would need assistance in the night, even in the day. Sometimes she would spill her tea and go all over the bed. That would need changing. Like, there's so many aspects to this. And whilst I am, what's the word? Blessed to be able to we are blessed to be able to care for our mom. We also acknowledge how hard it is, and some days, like, I would say rarely, but it impacts how we are towards one another. Just because sometimes you've had no sleep the night before, or you try to go out with friends and stuff, and then you come back, and then even now we do like hotel breaks just to do nothing, because when you're at home there's always something to do, something to prepare for. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry. I feel a little tingle. But it is really hard, and I think the journey is not one you can do alone. I remember in the beginning, like, I was part of different ministries and they were praying for me. Like, I don't know how we would have got through without the prayers of so many. But again, the focus was all on mum, and I think sometimes we neglected ourselves. Sometimes we wouldn't even eat because we were so exhausted, or we'd eat rubbish, and then the consequence of eating rubbish or eating late is weight gain. That happened to me. We gained weight. What can I do? I'm still beautiful. But again, I'm just saying that to say that I didn't take care of myself because I was so focused on mum. Don't do it without a village or community who are championing you to look after yourself. Yeah. Oh God.
Being a carer impacted me personally. I think, I'm not gonna lie, when it first happened, I was very in denial. Like, I knew it happened, but I don't think I allowed myself to process it properly. I remember when we were staying in mum's flat, because it was only a 1-bedroom flat, we were sleeping in the front room, and I couldn't sleep by myself. I don't think anyone could really sleep by themselves because we didn't know what was happening. So I remember us just sleeping on the floor, and every night I go to sleep, but it was like broken sleep, because I'll wake up and be like, okay, like, I'm ready to wake up from this dream. And I think I was in that headspace for a good 3 months, where every night I would go to sleep, I was ready to wake up from this nightmare. I really thought it was just a dream, that I'm going to wake up, I'm going to see mum, she's going to be talking, going to be walking, everything's going to be fine and normal. But it wasn't, unfortunately. I think because I didn't allow myself to process it properly, it messed with my mental health. I'm not gonna lie. I suffered from panic attacks. I suffered from, like, negative thoughts. Bear in mind, all of this I'm saying is, I was a Christian. I am a Christian, but I was a Christian then as well. Like, I love God. I prayed to God, all of that stuff. But when you're going through something so challenging and tough and life-changing, your head kind of gets consumed and you just think, yeah, you're praying, but was I really, really praying? Was I really trusting God? Probably not, because I was scared. And my mom is my mom. Yeah, mentally I wasn't in a good place. And I was that kind of person that I always thought, like, when people have panic attacks, oh, it's attention seeking. They're not really having panic attack, and get up from the floor, stop being silly, until I experienced it. And when I experienced it, I'm sure my sisters can tell you after, when I experienced having panic attacks, they ain't a joke, man. I literally couldn't breathe. I was like I had to kind of get my breath to breathe. I just couldn't. And it's like someone just takes over your body and you can't control it. And even when someone's trying to calm you down and trying to like reassure you and like making sure that you're breathing properly, you just can't, because you're just so consumed. And I think I had those moments so many times because I didn't process mum having a stroke. So yeah, it affected my mental health badly. I would say 2022 was my worst year, I think, because I was just consumed with, so the year after, and obviously there was a situation that happened, but I'll wait for Nessie and Val to come for that one, because that one's, even thinking about it now, is traumatic. And I literally was on the floor screaming. I don't think I was even responding to Nessie and Val. They got worried. They called Ruth again. Shout out Ruth. Ruth and Carmel came. I literally was just on the floor. I think I just got up after 20 minutes. Longer. Like, I thank God that I'm able to laugh and smile about these things now. But in that time, no. So yeah, I struggled. I think it affected how I was with my friendship groups. I lost a lot of friends from after mum had the stroke, because partly me, partly them. Do you get what I mean? I'm not going to put the blame all on people that I was friends with once upon a time. But I think when you're going through something like that, my way of coping sometimes is to shut down, don't talk to anyone, keep myself to myself. So when people are checking in on me, sometimes I'm just like, I don't really want to talk to you, or I won't respond to messages. And I think those that were consistent with checking on me were obviously concerned because I wasn't responding. Even sometimes when my sisters were trying to talk to me, my way of coping was just to shut down. Like, I wasn't talking, I wasn't saying anything. And I don't think that's helpful either. I've got a lot better, gotten a lot better. But I still have my moments where I'm just... Still have my moments now, and this is 4 years later. Being a carer is not easy. It is tough. And it's also gauging the balance of having to live your life, but also having to be a carer, but then also not neglecting your care and responsibilities. And on top of that, you're working full-time as well. So in the eyes of the government, the law, we're not classified as full-time carers. But does care work ever truly stop when you're living with that person? It's around the clock work, but we're not classified as full-time carers. So what I always used to make a joke about is that I work full-time. And the joke is, I'm actually a carer in my actual day-to-day job. For young people, I'm a carer. So it's testing and trying and challenging, because you go to work and I do 16-hour shifts, and I come back home, I want to chill, but sometimes you don't get that chill, or you have to do this and you have to do that. And how can I say no? It's my mum at the end of the day. But I'm tired, and I know my sisters are tired. They work from home. So I also have that in the back of my head, like, oh, I want to come back, I want to help them, I want to support, I want to do what I can. And also, I have a skin condition, which I get really, really bad flares when I am stressed. And sometimes the flares are so bad, I can't walk, I can't move, all I can do is cry and take ibuprofen. And also, it's like, I need to be conscious of not to stress here. When I stress here, it stresses everywhere, and then I'm in pain. So now I'm trying to, like, don't stress. And because I'm thinking about not stressing, now I'm stressing, if that makes sense. So then that's another thing I'm trying to deal with. So it's just like, I just feel like life is just throwing things at you, And it's just like, when am I going to get a break? Like, you're dodging it and you might get hit a little bit there and a little bit of a graze there, a little bit of a graze here. But it's just constant. I'm just like, when's it going to stop? Sorry. But I thank God for my sisters. If it wasn't for them, honestly, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to say this. I don't think I would be here. Because as much as they said, oh yeah, I was the one that like checked them and stuff like that, they have truly been a rock for me at times where I'm just like, what's the point of everything? This might be a trigger warning to people as well, because I'm talking about mental health, so sorry in advance. When I just thought like, what's the point? I wouldn't say I was suicidal, but I definitely had like negative thoughts where I'm just like, is anyone gonna miss me if I'm really here or not? Like, sometimes I'll just be walking and like this thought just came on me, like just to walk into the road, and I was just like, whoa, that's not me. And then I think that's when I remember going upstairs to Nessie's room and I called you guys and I sat down on the floor by the TV in her room and I basically told them that I'm literally struggling with my mental health and like I'm having these thoughts and they're not me and I don't know what to do with them. And they were like, what thoughts? Like, Vivi, why didn't you share anything? It goes back to what I was saying about just keeping myself to myself and being quiet and just, I'll look like everything's okay and just keep going. But then I reach my boiling point where I just crash and I just break. So then I shared with them and they were like, no, like, thank you for sharing with us. And they just encouraged me. They prayed for me. And then I decided to take up therapy. Such a taboo because I'm like, no, I don't need therapy, I don't need counselling, I'm okay, but it was really good because it helped me check myself and see my strength and the resilience that I have as well, because what we've been through is not normal, but it has been our normal for how many years? So yeah, therapy was good. It was really, really helpful. I would say 2023 was where I was like, right, I'm in a better place. And I was able to see when I was getting to those low points or when I felt like I was burning out and stuff like that. So thank God that that's all changed around. And yeah, that's the year I met my husband. He might come in this video one day, but he might not because he's too shy. So yeah, and I always say, because he always says to me like, oh, why didn't I meet you sooner? And I'm like, trust me, you wouldn't have liked me if you met me any earlier than you did. But again, that's a testament to God and to my wonderful sisters for just looking after me, because I'm a big 30, but I'm still a baby. I'm just a baby.
Okay, Mom. I'm just a baby.
So yeah, bye guys. That's my little thing.
Hey guys. Okay, be serious. Be so for real. I'm gonna try and give my.
She was serious. I knew
I'll
that was the
try
case.
and give my point of view of what happened, but in reality, I really don't know what to tell you. It was just like autopilot. I went into responsibility mode. I went into, okay, what do we do? What's next? What's happening? What do we do? Just be organized. Who do I need to contact? Who do I need to call? Who do I need to do this? And it just went into a lot of stuff to manage. I really struggled to let go because I felt like as the firstborn or as the eldest that everything was on me, and it wasn't. No one put pressure on me. I think I probably put that pressure on myself. I think I was a person who was like, okay, I need to call this auntie, I need to call this uncle, keep people up to date, call for appointments, let everybody know what's going on. It's just so much to grasp. It's really difficult to try and put it from my own perspective, to be honest. I'm really struggling to say how I felt. I didn't know how to let people help me. I didn't know what to tell them, and I didn't want to overload them. Because before this, if I had tell people stuff that was going on, they didn't really know what to do. So I felt like, oh, let me not share because it might be too heavy for that person. But I think people just wanted to be there in the best way they can. People still do. So I'm always grateful for people who are checking in and making time for me and getting me to come out the house. Sometimes you just blank out. I think personally, I try not to think of what happened, because if I really deep the reality of it, I just will have a breakdown. This is tough, guys. I haven't really fully, truly processed what happened. If I do, I think I might just break. When it all happened, we were capturing videos and pictures and stuff. And sometimes I want to go back to the folder and look, but I just can't, because I feel like if I go down that route, I don't know if I can get back up, because it's just so much. Like, if I try to actually deep what happened to my mum, maybe I sit and write it down. I honestly don't know what to say, guys. It's okay. 1 minute.
Let me talk on behalf of Nessie, because Nessie struggles to talk about herself, but I don't. Nessie, yeah, she is like, she puts everyone priority more than herself.
Yeah.
So she took on big sister role, she took on responsibility. She never ever stopped to just deal with herself. And obviously she's got two sisters to go through it in a different way as well. So they come first. But I think that's why she's finding it so hard to say.
Because it's the first time she's actually
Yeah.
having to speak about yourself.
And I think that's what she's finding it hard with. We saw her take control, take the reins, manage this, manage that. She only shared, I think, when it got too much, and it's like, okay, like, you do this, you do this. Obviously, that's a culture, Nigerian thing from young. You take on the responsibility and everything, but she doesn't have to, because we've all been this together. But I think it's hard for me to say that from the outside when she's the one who's lived it from young. But yeah, definitely, Nessie just went into, I don't know, superwoman, just authoritative mode, and just needs sorting, moving house, bills, this arrangement, that arrangement, car, like so much went into it.
I think I got to a point where I realised that I have to let go and share and be like, Val, can you do this? And Vivi, can you do that? And I think, like you said, it's because I just went into autopilot of being the eldest. And I got to a point where I did think as well, like, if I wasn't here, then they wouldn't know, because I'm managing everything. I'm doing this. So I need to let you know about the appointments, and let you call for the neurologist or the cardiologist or whoever it is, and just learn to give that responsibility and not hold it on. I think, yeah, like you said, as growing up has always been, you're the eldest, you're responsible for this, you do this, and I didn't want to put the pressure on my
but
sisters.
We don't subscribe to that.
I know.
That's not how it works. It shouldn't be how it works. Just so you're the eldest.
Yeah, but it was a learning thing, and then eventually I have learned to be like, hey guys, can you do this week or do that? And it's just something, I think this is the way I've always been. But yeah, I don't think I have stopped to really process it. It's too much. So not going too deep of thinking about what happened. I could just keep sailing. I probably haven't shared these two, but like probably the same thing. No, nothing crazy. But like driving home by yourself, thinking, if I just let the car go, you know. So stuff like that.
This wasn't planned, guys. I wasn't meant to be in no video.
No,
this
it
way.
won't.
Sometimes it is what it is. Ah, cause we are sisters. We stick together. They should have been points extra. Look at this behaviour.
Sing a song, guys.
That's another
What's the
thing.
song?
People have been asking about, oh my god, I thought this channel was from songs. Sorry, not like that. But they have been messaging, and do you know what I said? I said we're in a new season, I think. I'm not saying we're not gonna sing, because we actually are known for singing. But
Wait. I'm not known for singing. No. I know there's three of us, but I don't have the voice. I mean, I might do a bit of a backup, but trust me, you do not want to hear me sing.
This shower singer.
Yeah, shower singer, bedroom singer, not public. Not for the public.
But hopefully we'll be able to give you guys a little sing song one day. Right now, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think one thing you guys can take home from this video is it's a lot.
I thought I'd have bare things to say, bruv.
Danny, bro.